Yes, I got a new bike. But wait, before all of the YT fans desert me, let me clarify. I still have the Jeffsy, and I intend to put it head-to-head with that Ripmo AF and really test which of these bikes is the better aluminum all-mountain destroyer. Let's start by taking a closer look at the Ripmo AF. By the way, don't let the music fool you. These are going to be real tests, and if you think you know which bike is going to win, well, I'd urge you to stick around because even in this video, I think there are going to be some big surprises. In this video, though, we're not doing any tests. Instead, here's some of my thoughts from my first real ride on the Ripmo. All right, I'm out here at Bradbury on what I'm hoping will be kind of the first real ride on this bike. Technically, it's the second ride. Had some issues with parts on the first ride, and then it got cut short by an issue at home that I had to go home and deal with. So yeah, we're gonna try again here, and I hopefully have fixed the parts, but we'll talk about those in a little bit. So first, I think, like I've said, I'm gonna do some really direct kind of head-to-head comparison videos about this and the Jeffsy, because they're at a pretty similar price point, and they're both aluminum, kind of all mountain, almost enduro but not really enduro type bikes. And but yeah, for this video, this first ride, since I'm climbing anyway, I think it'd be good for me to talk about what I expect, how I expect these bikes to be different, and we'll see if my expectations match reality. Obviously, in terms of climbing, I would expect this bike, the Ripmo, to be pretty comparable to the Jeffsy as is. Everybody says, what is that clicking? Something is clicking somewhere in the frame. I don't have huge complaints about how the Jeffsy climbs, as many of you know, but this feels really like I don't feel like I'm really losing anything to the suspension, so that's cool. Other changes that I would expect this to be a little grippier, again, because of those big tires. And of course, these tires are new, whereas the Jeffsy tires are not. That's not really about the bikes. I expect the Jeffsy to have a better dropper post and lever, which it does. You look at this lever, like, who would design a dropper? Another difference in expectations, I would expect the drivetrain on this bike to be a little more reliable. That's my fat bike also has the Shimano Diore, and at least on that, I found that to be a really just no nonsense, no frills, not as picky as the SRAM stuff that's on the Jeffsy. I'm obviously not trying to set PRs or anything, just trying to get a feel for this bike. Ooh, she wants to go fast. You can just feel it as soon as you point it downhill. I would say more so than the Jeffsy. It just wants to go. Wow. I have never done that section like that before. This feels, if anything, even a little bit more stable than the Jeffsy, which it should. It's shorter, or it's longer rather. Sorry, the Jeffsy's shorter. And the suspension is kind of how I expected as well. It definitely feels better on some hits, not on others. It feels like with a little bit of tuning, I could get it to be perfect. Now, I don't really know all that much about suspension tuning, so I don't know enough. I don't know enough about the feel to say, oh, I need to change the high-speed compression or whatever. So that's going to take a little bit of learning, a little bit of effort to kind of get that dialed in. But it does feel good already. So yeah, let's hit some more downhill here. Not that confident about my ability to bunny hop on this bike yet, but giving it some tries here. Oh my goodness. And it's just so fast. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the bike feels different. I'm really interested to see when we get to those head-to-head tests. You know, we can time it scientifically. But at least today, whenever I'm going down, yeah, I feel like I'm moving fast. I'm doing a lot more braking than I would be on the Jeffsy. It's not because I feel out of control. Just because I'm like, oh God, moving fast to this little section and see what this bike makes of that. This is a trail that, and like a segment that I definitely have tried to intentionally go fast on before and kind of, you know, break a PR or whatever. At least this little section of it, I think that's called The Night is Dark and Full of Terrors on Strava. So again, I'll be interested to see. I'm not going all out on this, my first ride on this bike on this trail, but be interested to see how the numbers line up when the ride is over. Oh God. Oh, we're getting some mud. That's all right. Down here is just like a little access trail toward the road, but it is kind of fun. A little bit of rockiness on there, if I remember correctly. I've only done it once or twice before, so let's go check that out, see what that's like, and then see what it's like to climb back up. All right, other part of Fox. And this is the point where the ride came to an abrupt end because look at those cranks. It turns out the cranks weren't just loose, they were actually broken. Thank God I've still got the Jeffsy, so it's not going to stop me from riding, but it'll probably be at least a few more weeks before I can actually do any head-to-head testing. But that is coming, so be sure to hit subscribe and stick around for it because it promises to be really interesting. Until next time, I hope you get a chance to get outside and ride. And I'll see you next week riding the Jeffsy because this bike is in the shop.